unexpected. Look at what body I jumped. I take her to the person. Jelly, jelly. I'm in the house and yes, sir. Then I'm in the answer, yes, sir. Respect is reciprocal, even though una knows they are special. Anybody, we no want to search it. Anybody, we no the body, body.
Hello, it's me again. Mr. Burudani, take away the pen. Pole kwa kuchelewa, tunajua kole.
Block 89.
Tuliza complain. Kichwa, sijabeba kama pambo. Akili, nimetega kwenye chambo. Fulu, charge na fulu bando. Ukileta, so unawekwa kando. Ana maseke ukitete, muulize. Ila kama mapepe, tulize. Sema nae.
Double 8.9 Wasafi
Kama ulijua
FM.
cheche imekuwa kasheshe, wezi kuzuia mvua, wacha inyeshe. Sema nao. Wadese. Utawawa bure sijalala, nimeficha tu makucha. Huku ndani ndo kwanza kumekucha, vunja mifupa waulize nani kachiwa bucha. Leo kama ni kishindo tingisha, kama ni mzuka pandisha, kama ni maji mwagika, kama ni mnazi katika, kama ni kishindo tingisha, kama ni mzuka pandisha, kama ni maji mwagika.
Double 8.9 Wasafi FM. Block 89.
Kitambo napata chimbika leo. Mama sita, check a picture, tunakikisha leo.
Double 8.9 Wasafi FM. Block 89.
Wasafi DJs.
See, all you need is consistent love. When I die, I swear it's never enough. I messed up. Maybe this thing here just ain't meant for us.
Hey,
Maybe you let go and I'll pull you back.
Wasafi FM.
I want it.
We do it like a rock star. Sitting in my hotel room and we so loud. Higher than a smoke cloud. Shades on doing nothing but top down. I might sound crazy, 'cause we be going back and forth. 1 minute I hate you and I love you. That's love. Yeah, we get it right. We gon' fuck some more. I'ma get it. Till we get it.
Double 8.9 Wasafi FM. DJ Kidlex.
Can't explain the reason why I love you. You got me thinking, feeling why I love you. Yeah, you make my heart go tingle-a-ga-tingle-a-ga-da. If I have my way every day, wanna tingle-a-ga-tingle-a-ga to you. She says she will be with me in the rain. She says she will climb with me to the mountain.
Block 89.
She is with me
DJ Kidlex.
I want it.
and you know that I love you every day. Every day. Love you every day. Every day.
Hey, ni 88.9 Wasafi FM.
Block 89.
It's showtime. Showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Shut up. I'm wearing Cuban links. Designer mix. Inglewood's finest shoes. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color red the blue.
put some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. In my phone, they don't keep up. Players only. Immediately they start to turn up.
Hii ni 88.9 Wasafi FM.
Immediately she start to turn up.
Block 89.
Immediately she start to feel the sound. Oh. Immediately they start to turn up. Oh. Immediately she start to feel the sound. Oh. What's the bad picture?
Double 8.9 Wasafi FM. DJ Kidlex. Block 89. DJ Kidlex.
Me body and my man say I got a thing for a nasty mind. Say my name again, me a rally.
Roll it, girl, roll it, girl, roll it, girl, roll it, control it, girl, roll it,
Hii
roll
ni
it, roll it, girl,
88.9 Wasafi FM.
roll it, girl, roll it. Bad girl sing with a Peruvian there. She got a lock when she dance underwear. Bad man thing, see the things underwear. I got a thing that I leave her to bear. Girl, come on, see my thing. Everywhere we go, man, hate
Block
everything.
89.
Everywhere we go, shot anything. Everywhere we go, shut down everything. Oh yeah, yeah. Where? She a like she wanna me break her waist. Girl, we are like her related. We only wanna play on the weekend. Where? She a like she wanna me break her waist. Girl, we are like her related. We only wanna play on the weekend. Roll it, girl, roll it, roll it, girl, roll it. Yeah. Konde boy. She's so fine, anapendeza hata bila vipodozi. And I love she giving me overdose. I love the way you move your body. Unanipandisha midadi. Kachiri, inuka funga kanga. Kachiri, matajiri, uto wanajipanga matajiri. Basi go down, wanyoma, fanya kama mbuzi amegoma. Slow down, kwenye kona,